playing the Switch version. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ethan.
Hello. I have consumed two others to arrive here. I am Carlos.
And hello, I'm Alfredo, also known as gameupsmile.
I'm Landon.
I'm Josh.
Don't laugh at me.
And welcome to our, as of this 2022-2023 season, this is, as of right now, our longest playthrough for the channel yet. This will be a 51-part playthrough because this game is long. A lot of these games in the Zelda franchise are long, but this one is extremely long for very arbitrary reasons. We'll cover into that. So, Skyward Sword is... I'm going to preface it like this. It's the game that I grew up with. It's the one that I have the most memories with. This might... By proxy, it's probably my favorite Zelda game, but at the same time, I think it is the weakest 3D Zelda game out of the main 5 that were before Breath of the Wild. So, because there are a lot of issues with this game, like a lot of structural issues, but I think a lot of the positive values this game has is balances out the negative values that this game has.
So basically, it's good, but it's bad. Don't play it, but play it.
More or less. See, that was the thing with like Skyward Sword back on the Wii, because one of the big issues, at least on the Wii version, was the motion controls. Yeah, that was pretty much the biggest hurdle this game had, and a lot of people dropped it because of it.
Yeah.
So at least with the Switch version that came out in 2021, the version that I recorded, you now have options for button controls, so you can just play the game with traditional buttons, and it gives a lot of incentive for players to try it out who didn't try it 10 years prior.
Yeah, just
so
$60.
At least there's that. Yeah, I mean, come on, it's a Zelda title. Of course, it's gonna be like $60 no matter what. It's Nintendo's second biggest franchise, right behind Mario. So of course,
behind Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, baby.
Well, new funky mode.
New funky mode. Skyward Sword with funky mode.
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry.
Oh man.
Get to the end of the game and unlock Virgil.
So, out of everyone in this call, who's played Skyward Sword?
Me.
I have.
My first experience with the game was only the Switch version. I've never gotten to play the Wii version.
Okay.
I gotta preface this. I never played any Zelda game. I only know about Zelda because of pop culture osmosis.
Heresy.
Gotcha.
We're gonna get Carlos to play every single Zelda game.
No, I won't.
First game,
Dude,
Play every Zelda game before the new Breath of the Wild comes out.
That's not going to happen. These games are long.
dude, they're like long, but like they don't have to be, dude. We could get them to do it. It'll be okay.
I mean,
game.
Even if you're just ignoring a bunch of the side quest stuff, the games are still pretty long narratively.
Carlos is a natural speedrunner. He'll get it done lickety-split. He'll finish each game in like 30 minutes.
Glitch exploitation. Yeah. Sure. Whatever. I mean, and also, like, you get that there's a lot of Zelda games apart from the 3D ones. I know that the 3D ones are like the main course games of the franchise, but a lot during the time, like especially the 2000s, had like a whole bunch of handheld games that they weren't good. I'm just gonna say that they're not good. PS1 specifically.
Whoa, hey.
Oh, do we have a disagreement?
Yes, okay. Now for the DS ones, I'll say this: I've never played Phantom Hourglass, but you do not diss Spirit Tracks.
What is going on the screen right now?
I do not care. I am going to disagree with you. You do not be dissing on the second best Zelda game. That being.
I like Spirit Tracks to a certain extent. It is much better than Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass is a piece of shit. But Spirit Tracks is at least a bit more fun. There's a lot more creativity, to say the least. And, you know, given that it's on, I know people like say the game's on rails. It's literally on rails. You're on a freaking train. You're on a train. Yeah. So that's kind of like a 50-50 argument with Spirit Tracks. But the touch controls. No, I need them.
They weren't that bad.
Okay, so there's a part in Phantom Hourglass specifically that's like, oh, wouldn't the game be so much easier if you could control it with the D-pad? Like, there's a legit text box in Phantom Hourglass that says that, and I'm like, dude, come on.
No way.
But it's the DS game specifically. I think Minish Cap is a good game, and the Oracle games are surprisingly good games. But yeah, but like again, like the handheld games exist, but everyone kind of forgets about them because again, the main course meals are the 3D ones. That's what everyone cares about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And so when it was like kind of revealed that this game, at least back in 2011, was like the main course. Oh no, the E3 presentation. It looks broken. Shit. Because this game kind of got a bit of notoriety at like the E3 of 2010, I want to say. Because with the mush controls, it looked like the game was broken. So what would the final product look like? At least the mush controls wise, more or less. It really had to do with the technology of the Wii Remote at that time. But yeah, at least
you have to have the little adapter thing for it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the Wii Motion Plus.
Yes.
Oh well, if you don't have one that innately had it inside already.
Right. I think 2011 was the year that they started like putting the Wii Motion Plus inside of it, but again, still, it's actually funny because if you booted up the Wii copy on the Wii, like the very first thing that you would see is like a tutorial video on how to install the Wii Motion Plus. The Wii Motion Plus. It was like you put the little dangly thing in the little crevice that it holds, then you plug it into the Wiimote, and then you put the
nunchuck.
Then you put the nunchuck into it. Oh no, before then you put the little scrotum thing around it, and then yeah.
Scrotum thing?
Sure, scrotum thing.
I mean the Wii Remote jacket.
Bro.
The Wii Remote jacket. You know, everyone calls it like it's supposed to be a condom. I'm like, dude. I mean,
the Wii Motion Plus thing.
I understand, a condom for your Wii Remote, but scrotum thing?
It's the texture. It's really the texture.
Wait. Why would?
Don't worry about it. Don't. We can move on now. Over. Joke is done. It died like 20 seconds ago.
You know what? In post editing, just put a gif of him of Dwayne the Rock Johnson just making that face.
Get a load of this.
William Dafoe?
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Right. So, this game is basically, for those who care about the Zelda timeline, this is the very first game at the very top of the timeline.
The very beginning of it all.
Right. So, like, we've had this conversation a couple times before, but like, in the grand scheme of things, does the Zelda timeline really mean anything?
Yes.
Yes.
It's meant to confuse you.
Well, I don't think it's that confusing, at least in my opinion.
Well,
I don't look into it.
I think it was in my opinion, I think it tried hard to be convoluted, and like what I mean by that is the timeline was basically constructed like after a lot of games came out. And
I was about to say it's kind of BS because they were like, everybody after Majora's Mask was like, well, what the fuck is this? And they were like, this is what it is. Ta-da! It's a timeline. Like, bam. There you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. And not only that, but like a lot of Zelda games kind of follow the same story. Like in the first half, you collect the 3 MacGuffins, and in the second half, you collect the 5 other MacGuffins, beat the final boss, ergo, then you win.
3 Stooges, get the Teen Titans, beat Big Guy, go home. Wow, big strong boy. Big strong guy over here.
Also, the timeline just like, especially if you toss in like some of the newer games since the timeline's been made, it kind of also doesn't make sense because Breath of the Wild fits every timeline, which is not how that works.
No, I think it fits in the yeah,
In the timeline, yeah, it makes sense.
I think it fits into the Child Link timeline, which is basically after Ocarina of Time, then comes Majora's Mask, then Twilight Princess, Four Sword Adventures, and then after that's Breath of the Wild.
And then he dies.
So they put it in that timeline?
Yes, one of the cutscenes literally basically mention. Well, it doesn't say it explicitly, but things that the cutscene in Breath of the Wild where okay, I don't know. I can't say. I don't know which one exactly, but basically, Zelda says things about what.
In the shit, bro.
You know what? I'll explain another time. Okay, I can't focus.
That's fair. Well, I kind of did think that Breath of the Wild was just kind of like the what do they call it? Nexus point, which basically like combines all the timelines together at the very end.
Yeah, well, no, it's basically the Child Link timeline.
I mean, technically, they never put Breath of the Wild anywhere. We just have to kind of figure that out ourselves. But there's a lot of stuff in Breath of the Wild that kind of comes from everything, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because like even the concept of Hylia, which was never introduced until this game, Skyward Sword, was basically it then became part of the canon, as you will. So, and honestly, I don't.
Retcon.
Yeah, the retconning stuff. Like, I don't know exactly how the Hylia goddess and the three goddesses are supposed to connect at all. This game doesn't really explain that at all, because again, like for all intents and purposes, Skyward Sword, as marketed, is the prequel to Ocarina of Time, and so. It kind of goes as you will. So maybe it's supposed to like explain how I don't know how the land of Hyrule came first to be, because Hyrule is not a thing as of right now in this as of Skyward Sword chronology.
Forgive me for my nerdiness in the showing, but it's not exactly a direct prequel to Ocarina of Time. It first goes Skyward Sword, then Minish Cap, then Four Swords, and then Ocarina of Time. And then
Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
Well, okay. Well, that's my thing about like the handheld games just kind of being like meh to the entire experience, because everyone kind of forgets about them.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So for all intents,
it would really love the Zelda games.
Yeah. That's my thing about the whole Zelda timeline. I feel like it really doesn't matter. It doesn't
matter if you don't really care about it.
It wants to have convoluted lore. Well, if you don't, sure, that's kind of the gamer's perspective, and that just kind of goes by case basis. But what are the developers thinking? Because again, like I remember I saw a meme around the time when Sora got into the Smash, and it was basically like that my franchise has the most complicated lore, and this is like Link versus Snake talking, and it was like, no, my series has the most complicated lore. And then Sora was like, amateurs. Amateurs.
Yeah, because nobody knows what the fuck what was the
I thought you were gonna say nobody knows what the fuck a Disney is.
Kingdom Hearts makes no sense, to the point where on Twitter I saw people arguing about what Sora being in Smash Brothers meant for the lore, and I was like, it doesn't mean anything for the lore. Funny man with big shoes is in fighting game. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's not like absent from the main games because he's beating up Bayonetta's fucking ass.
Right. So that's why I'm like, the timeline chronology stuff doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
I like having fun with games and not thinking.
We can at least say like stuff like Metal Gear and Kingdom Hearts. Well, I don't know about Kingdom Hearts, but they have complicated lore and they more or less know what they're doing with that lore. With Zelda,
it's pretty complicated.
Yeah, with Zelda, it feels like they want to be complicated lore, but it really just isn't at the end of the day.
I'm sidetracked for a second. Can you guys look at this guy's nose? Holy cow, what a honker, dude.
For sure.
What an absolute unit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think I'm just talking to this guy so I can get like tutorial stuff.
Who are you calling Big Nose? Big Nose?
Huge. It's like as big as my fist.
Oh yeah. Also, don't pay attention to those times. Those aren't actually accurate.
Yeah, I love the test playthroughs.
I know, right? Yeah, because that's my thing with the channel. I do like a test playthrough to like, because I write down notes for my recording playthrough, so I don't look like a fool while I'm recording shit.
As if you aren't already.
So I write all them down. I label the files as test. And that's when I can basically do stupid stuff and figure out what I want to do throughout the recording playthrough.
Be professional first.
Use the test playthrough for the recording. Can I hear the game? That's a good question, actually.
You can turn up the audio of the video if you need to.
Oh my god, it's a woman.
Got it. I thought she was singing the text box, but I couldn't hear her, and I was like, "That looks stupid."
I mean,
and I turned it up, and she's kind of singing in Simlish.
Simlish.
Simlish? I don't think I've heard that.
It's
the Sims speech.
Yeah, it's making fun of like the how Sims talk.
They don't talk English. They go,
they talk gibberish, and some people call it Simlish.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I had to, like, talk in Animal Crossing.
I mean, that's kind of the thing with all the games that came before Breath of the Wild. It's just because they're text boxes, all the voice acting goes into like the oofs, offs, and
the grunts and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So that's just kind of how that goes.
All the oofs, off, and make something already.
What am I doing?
Ethan, we're on an agenda.
What exactly?
You said this was the professional playthrough. Bro.
You lie.
I think I just wanted to do that so I can mess with you guys. Yeah.
Well,
give us the illusion of choice.
Again, I recorded this over a year ago, so I don't even remember half of the stuff that I did in this playthrough.
Oh my god. Bald.
Oh, his eyes!
My eyes!
Look my eyes!
Jesus,
Well, he's not even blinking.
Look at his
His eyes are twitching.
He does blink. My
He does,
god.
but he doesn't close his eyes, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa, Link. Buddy.
I mean,
What are you smelling, bro? He
He's like
said,
about to sneeze.
you can at least say the models' faces are expressive.
I don't know about that. He like looks lifeless but expressive at the same time.
Jeez, look at that unibrow.
That is a wild. I mean, I don't know. Is this the guy's
William
name is
Tentacles of a
Gapora?
motherfucker.
Is that supposed to be a reference to the owl from Ocarina of Time?
Gamora?
Gapora, whatever.
No. The owl is named Gamora. I think.
No. I'm pretty sure it's
You have the
Gapora.
power of the internet.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure the owl's name is Owl because I didn't
Owl,
care enough to look at his name.
Gapora.
Gapora.
Oh, well then. I guess I'm just stupidly high.
Yeah.
Can we
Gapora.
Can we cut my stupidity out of the video?
No.
Please?
No.
Oh, come on. No.
It's too late.
No.
It's required.
It's required.
No.
It was the
It's part
main
of the contract.
conversation topic. If we cut that out, we're gonna lose like 10 minutes. We're gonna lose the whole episode if we cut that out.
What you sign.
No, nobody looks at the fine print within the fine print.
What about the fine print within the fine print within the fine print?
I can't read that.
That's beyond my vision.
But yeah, no, I'm looking at the owl from Ocarina of Time. They have the same unibrow, so.
Zelda definitely does not blink. I was just staring at her for like 20 seconds. Just in case anybody was wondering. She had a dead stare on this motherfucker.
I'm scared.
And think about it, if I didn't skip the text boxes, she'd just be standing there with that.
Look at her!
Face.
Just look at her! She's not blinking!
Oh, Lord! Oh,
There she goes. Now she's resting her eyes because there was just dust, debris all in there.
But yeah, this is a.
Why'd you name him Bates?
You'll see.
This is gonna be a joke for later.
Yeah, you'll find out later.
You put fucking name the Bergmaster or something?
Something like that, maybe. Yeah, basically, Skyloft is basically the world of where this game takes place in. It's basically like the goddess Hylia sent up her people to be saved from the demons and monsters on the land, and just so they could live up happily and peacefully up here in the sky.
Doesn't look very peaceful.
Is this part where Zelda kills Link?
Yeah, I was like, bro.
Here we go.
Yeah, they're very
Demons with you.
Oh, yeet!
Wow.
Give it!
He was even like flailing the same way too. That was crazy.
And I ended the part like that.